there's a lot of Christians out there that will say, they don't take the Bible literally. This is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard, because they believe in that Jesus is real, and they take that part of the Bible literally, but they won't take, like, they'll say, oh, well, I'm going to dismiss the first part of the Bible, the Old Testament. Just a quick preface on this, because they want to. Connie sent me this great video. This guy's like, oh, well, literal means something completely different. No, it doesn't. It means taking words in their usual and most basic sense without metaphor or allegory. So, just some really weird ideas out there. We're going to start the timer, and the timer is right here. There it is. And we're going to start with Bob.
Yo.
Yes, and the timer starts now.
Okay, great. What do I do?
Just we're talking about.
Well, look, I see what you're saying, and I'm going to disagree with you slightly.
Okay.
Because I think the more of the Bible that they let go of the literal grip on, the better. And a lot of the most hard to swallow stuff, a lot of very reasonable people have let go of that already.
Okay.
And so, I mean, give it some time. Maybe the rest of it will become, allegory. To some people, to some very moderate, reasonable people, the entire thing is allegory. Mm-hmm. And they may even still call themselves Christians. So, I mean, there's a lot of different kinds of people out there. So I think here's the deal about Jesus being crucified.
All right.
Why did he get crucified?
Mm-hmm.
I covered this in my last video.
Okay.
I feel like it's like this, that the morning that Jesus skipped breakfast in order to show his apostles that his faith could destroy a fruit tree, and the fact that the same day he ran afoul of the religious authorities there, mm-hmm. to the point that they started thinking about killing him, this is no coincidence. The need for a balanced breakfast cannot be oversold.
He was in a pissy mood.
It's a chilling episode that should be part of any cautionary tale on proper diet and long life.
So it's his blood sugar.
Yeah. See, every time I skip breakfast, I tend to kill things all around me all the time.
He became very irritable, and he did not hit it off with a lot of very key people there in the temple.
They weren't serving the breakfast sandwiches he requested. That was the problem.
But I don't know why he was really crucified. I don't know. He may have been asking that very question himself.
Yeah. Yeah. I personally, I think that it's just that they'll say that it's the literal translation, and then they'll say, oh, it's not literal. I mean, I don't think you can really have it both ways in many cases, at least in that one anyway. I mean, if Genesis did not happen, because a lot of them say, oh, well, we'll discount the Genesis story. So then if Adam and Eve didn't actually happen, they say it's just a parable, then what was the point of Jesus coming back for resurrection? To wipe away the sin from that. You know what I'm saying there?
I completely agree with you. I mean, I think a lot of fundamentalist Christians would absolutely agree too. Mm-hmm. They would say you cannot get rid of one without the other.
Right. And that's why I don't understand why they say, well, we don't take that part of it literally. It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, like I say, I'm kind of glad they don't, or else we might be stoning people, for jaywalking.
For sure.
So.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Connie, your thoughts?
Well, this was basically the point where I deconverted, because I was, when I was born again into basically a very fundamentalist evangelical mindset that the Bible was, entirely true, and the whole absolutes about God. And original sin is a huge part of that, that whole story, the whole idea that because Adam and Eve were literally people, and that's why Jesus sacrificed, mm-hmm. His sacrifice, that's what it was for. Reading Genesis with my kids, 6-7 years ago, and I was reading it, and I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. I had been asking a lot of questions at the time. It didn't make sense that there was light and then there, but it's before the sun, and you have plants before all of it. It just, to me, I was like, okay, I'm setting this aside. it wound up being the thing that, for me, ended my faith, because if that wasn't true, then, I mean, again, the idea of original sin and Jesus' sacrifice was all for no big deal. Yeah, so I'm really thankful for it, and I think that this is a point with a lot of fundamentalists and evangelicals. If we could get them to acknowledge the the reality of evolution and truth, that's why those things are so key.
Right.
You know, those proofs, because it's going to dismantle this part, and it takes a lot of the teeth out of the very ugly parts of religion, I think. So
Absolutely.
that's what I think.
Yeah. Joe, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I wasn't brought up super religious, so when I learned as an adult that there was a connection between Adam and Eve, a talking snake, and Jesus getting flogged, I was like, get out of here with that. But that's the story. I mean, or at least how many believers understand the story.
Right.
And so once you look into it and you learn that Adam and Eve giving birth to all of humanity is scientifically implausible, and you understand that without gods there is no sin, then the sacrifice of Jesus or a goat or a chicken or anything really is pointless. There's absolutely no need for sacrifice. So that's my thoughts on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts on this? We have about a minute and a half left. No? Yes?
Well, no, I was just going to say, I guess I could say it's, surely I was sinful at birth, sinful from the time my mother conceived me. People who want to say that, they deny that the Bible has it built into it that you're sinful from birth. There's other verses throughout the Bible that point to that.
Yeah, my mother told me that too. It's like, oh, you're born bad or some shit. You don't have to be. You're just. It's a sinful thing, or either was that my mother or my
that's
sister.
just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
And to touch on what Bob was saying before, maybe Jesus should frequent the Waffle House.
Great idea.
Outside of their cheeseburgers on the menu,
if there's a Bruises next door, then
That's right.
I'd pick Bruises over Waffle House.
Yeah, I would too.
Nice.
You could just order water and then turn it into wine. And
Yeah, absolutely. It is that way you wouldn't have to. If you're taking someone behind the Waffle House, and you could just take the just. What'd you bring? I brought water. What'd you bring that for? See, wine. Hey.
I turned this maple syrup into strawberry syrup. This butter is now ice cream.
And Jesus really had sandals. So.
Yes.
You don't see Jesus walking around with cheeseburgers on his feet.
Yeah. So, anyway, this is.
But he's on the back of a lot of pickup trucks.
Yeah, he's on the back. Yeah, he is on a lot of back of pickup trucks. It's a strange concept. If you're going to take something literal, either if you're not going to take that literal, then what is the point, really? Someone, if you're out there, let us know. Explain it to us. The number is 662-709-7727. Let's hear your thoughts.